a bit of the day in the life of me, which, sorry, my room is probably a little bit messy. Not overly messy. I mean, I could probably make the bed, to be truthful. As you can see, all my stuff. I need to actually copy some data over to my nephew's computer today. I don't know. I'll probably do it later, maybe, if I'm in the mood. So, what happens in the day of the life of me? Well, I always start my day with a decent cup of coffee. Definitely on the top of the agenda. I try to get up as early as possible if I can help it. Sometimes I have had a tendency to sleep in. Most of the time I get up early. Sometimes I don't. Depends on the situation. So just washing my mug out with some soap at the moment. So it's always good to wash your mug out. Mainly because well, I mean, I need to do some dishes. I'll probably do those because I was the one who cooked last night, and Dad was out. He was out with my sister having a few drinks and just relaxing for my sister's birthday. It's the second celebration where they just, had some nice drinks and did some karaoke, apparently. I didn't end up going out with them, but I mean, I'm not impartial. Well, not that I don't mind karaoke, but it's not one of my big fortes, so no, admittedly I can sing, but that's not the problem. I don't always feel like going out and, doing karaoke and stuff like that. So what do I need to do? Let's see. Yeah, I got one of these Aldi caps machines, as you can see. So normally start myself with something like that. To be honest, I need to get some replacement caps. I'll probably end up getting them today, most likely. So let's see. Hello. There we go. So, yeah, that's what I do. Like, I pretty much, I get up in the morning, have a bit of, I get up in the morning, have some coffee, wake myself up a little more. I mean, I don't necessarily start projects unless I want to, and sometimes I'll just be sitting there yabbering on and doing my YouTube videos. To be honest, I find my YouTube videos, sometimes they're unproductive, sometimes they're productive. I feel they're productive, because at least I'm doing something, and at least I'm focusing on something singly, you know what I mean? So, make myself some coffee. Always good. I think I've actually got the ones which are 10 and 11. The last ones I had were 11 strength, they were quite nice. I do kick ass. It's not too bad, these little cap things. I mean, I don't mind instant coffee. I don't mind the Moccona. If I have to drink it, I'll drink it in an emergency. Have a jug for boiling stuff, and making cups of tea or cups of coffee, instant coffee and stuff, all straight away anyway. And that's unplugged. Shit, there we go. Some of it, really. So, right. Basically, I get up in the morning, have a cup of coffee. I'll fiddle around on the internet for a while. I'll do some of my Facebook stuff, and I'll plaster myself all over Facebook. In combination of Facebook and just whether it's a general status or something that's annoying me, or just a little random rant that I feel like going on about, whether it's technical stuff or not. In some cases, I'll just put stuff on my personal Facebook. Then I'll put stuff on my non-personal Facebook, which is now sort of a mixture. I've got a page that I manage, which is directly related to my channel and directly related to the stuff that I do here with my hobby business. So, Alright, so, yeah, normally make myself a nice cup of coffee, have a few sugars in it. I'm probably bad for putting too much sugar in my coffee, I admit that, probably. Yeah, no, I have no doubt I am, because I do use a nice teaspoon. So I probably put way too much sugar in my coffee. But saying that, I don't have a tendency to have anything but coffee during the day. Then sometimes I might have a soft drink or something like that. You know, and then I won't necessarily eat much during the day. Sometimes I'll have a sandwich if I'm really in the mood, or sometimes I'll make myself some steak, or, you know, something of that nature. Steak, meat, you know, combinations of. A bit of spilt beer in the fridge because I left some. Unfortunately, I left some. Sadly, I left two beers in the fridge, and they ended up spurting out on each other. So that was rather frustrating. But you know, it happens. I left them in there. I thought my dad would take them out, but he did not take them out. So it's unfortunate. But I will have to actually go through the freezer and have a clean of that at some point. Not majorly concerned about it now. It doesn't worry me that much. I'll clean it up tomorrow. Well, no, I don't know. See, it's in the freezer. It doesn't really matter as much. If it was in the fridge or in a lower compartment, I would worry about it more because it would have a tendency to draw bacteria. But because it's in a freezing cold temperature, it's not likely to draw that much bacteria. But I probably should clean it out, to be honest. It's just sticky. That's the only problem. I have to get something. Give it a good clean. But not a major issue. Not a major issue at all. So, what of it? Okay. Anyway, I start my morning out with a nice cup of coffee. Yes, cappuccino, coffee, chino, whatever. As well as that, I also oh, that's good. Just defrosting some turkey for lunch. Not frozen. It was originally sandwich turkey, but it hadn't been defrosted. It's stuck into the freezer just to keep it fresh. So that's all what I do in that sense of things. Sometimes I'll come out here depending on my mood, if I've got that computer on or my dad's computer on, and I'll muck around with some of my tools. Depending. If I haven't got a lot to do, or I'm not working on a particular project, I won't bother trying to actually do it, or I won't bother trying to work on any project in particular. And it depends on the mood. Lately I haven't been feeling 100%. My systems have been a little all over the place with just how I've been feeling. So basically, at the moment, I've just been doing my own random thing, coming out here, maybe looking at a few of my projects and just going, okay, maybe not. Dell, forged in the fires of hell. Some of them are. I've had a past experience with certain Dell computers and them just failing inevitably. They're okay when they're running, but it's when they start to fail, they'll, I don't know, there's just some that I've come across that are actually quite lemony. They turn out to be lemons. It's just like, it's the same analogy you take with a car. Sometimes you can fix a car, put shitloads of money into it, and it's still a lemon at the end of it. So that's rather sad, but it's rather true. So, what I ended up doing, pretty much, I've ended up mucking around with a few toolkits and everything else. I haven't got into... I want to build that into a case, but at this point I don't have all the parts that I actually need to build it into a case. Yes, I can build a motherboard into a case, I can slowly put all the parts together, but I'd rather wait until I actually had the final part, which is this heatsink at this point in time. I don't know if you can actually see it, but yeah, that's my point. I'd rather wait until I had the heatsink for the entire thing, so then, I'm not fiddling around with it constantly. But start my morning with a fresh cup of coffee. Most of the time, so sometimes I can actually get up at 2 o'clock, not 2 o'clock in the morning, but I can be up till 2 o'clock in the morning just doing video stuff and randomly gaming. And then sometimes not, it depends on my level of how I feel and whether I'm in the gaming mood or not, and whether I feel like playing a game or not. At the end of it, it varies. But most of the time I try to get up early if I can help it. And there are moments where I don't necessarily get up early. Now, some of the tools of the trade, as you know, these tools, anti-static wristbands, cable testers, these are all common. These are all common stuff that you get. There's also other common stuff, like I've a couple of things I've just, like this, for example, a reverse VGA thing, which is basically a gender changer for your VGA, which I thought was a handy little thing. Then this, which is quite cool, a little diagnostic thing for your motherboard. Do I use all these tools at a given time? No, but I do use them at some point, and at some point I end up using them all. Well, maybe not all together, but I do use up, over the life of them, I do end up using them at some point. So, basically that's a day in the life of where I sort of start and how I start out with things. It's a Sunday here. Sunday's normally pretty quiet, unless I do get a customer through. Not that you get customers coming through on a Sunday very often, but, you know, you might, occasionally. Yes, I do work over Sunday, I do work over Saturday, but I'm not, you know, I'm flexible on my hours, and I tend to work less hours on those days. I mean, I'm always at call if people want to, you know, advice or just, you know, general stuff like that. But it's pretty quiet on a Sunday. I tend to just relax. So does my dad. Pretty much the rest of the house is just, you know, this is his pretty much. Well, he's part of the house pretty much. I've got the kitchen sort of bench area, which is mine, and got the kitchen area, which is for everybody in the house, and he pretty much watches TV here, and then uses the computer here, which, as I said, he does a combination of different things on the computer as well. A little bit of eBay stuff. So sort of, it varies with Dad, you know. It varies with him, and sometimes he just likes to go on Facebook and browse Facebook, to be honest. Normally I'll come in, I mean, if there's a particular requirement for the day or whatever, if I have to repair things or something, because I mean, I'm sort of basically the tech support for the house. I have to repair Jacob's computer, the Goodbench computer, and Dad's computer. Which, to be honest, Dad's computer is not too bad. It's made from older components. It's AMD Phenom 2 965 processor, 340 gigahertz, 8 gigabytes of RAM, which, I mean, to be honest, it runs pretty nicely anyway. I've had a couple of issues, but I think it might be related to the hard drives that I've got in there. When you work with reconditioned components, you do have a tendency to have more failures in some cases, then not so much. It depends. It depends on the life of the individual reconditioned product that you're using. Whether it's had a hard life, whether it's just basically had, you know, a rough life, you know, or whether it's had a basic life or hasn't done much. So yeah, I mean, I get up in the morning, come out here. Depends though. On a really nice day. If I actually like to dust out and clean out my computers, I'll sit them on this table. Normally dry it off first. Normally there isn't always water on there. That's my actual keyboard box, which I just chucked out because, to be honest, it wasn't useful anyway. Pizza box. So normally I just sit a computer on here and I'll actually dust it out and just blow it out with the air compressor, which is most of the time what I have a tendency to do anyway. This side of the house is a barbecue, some old pots and plants and stuff, and just, you know, old boxes from things that we brought home, and yeah, stuff of that nature. So yeah, old mattress, which we actually need to get rid of, but eventually we will get rid of that stuff anyway. So yeah, I mean, that's pretty much my area for dusting things out and getting rid of dust. I'll put the air compressor here at the door, close the main screen door so I don't get too much dust inside, which is always a good idea. I have done it inside before, but it always doesn't end up well because it ends up with more dusting inside. So yeah, let me think. I got this little air compressor. I do use this, and I charge basically a $50 cleaning service to be able to use this, because I need to do it with electricity and everything else, and just, you know, combinations of how I clean through things and stuff and just dust through them. So yeah, that's stuff that I have to list. It's a box of stuff. When I sort of get around to it at this point, I'm sort of, I guess I'm being a bit lazy, I guess you could say. There's my automatic screwdriver. This one looks a bit like a gun, to be honest. But it's quite a nice little tool. I bought that from Kogan.com, and it's quite a nice tool to actually use. And it can speed up the process of putting together a computer at times. So, then over here, of course, is my pet. As you can classify him as a family pet. He is a bird, or a quarian is the correct term. He's a parrot, or he's in the parrot family. He's very friendly most of the time, unless he's pissed off. Then he might bite you through the cage, or he might just talk to your finger. Depends on his mood. It depends on his mood and how he's feeling. He also has a lot of character to him as well. I mean, we've had him for a few years now since we've been up here. I think since we moved up here, and he's quite an integral part of the family. Charming in his own way, silly in his own way as well. He has a lot of character. He can talk your ear off. He also knows how to yell my name as well. From times when my dad's actually tried to wake me up, and most of the time I do have a tendency to wake up myself. The given time I need to wake up. But, yeah, Daniel, yes. So you do see, he does know my name. But yeah, he's a very good pet. He's extremely affectionate in given situations. He'll actually sit on your shoulder while you watch TV and stuff and just peck away at you, or not peck away, but prune away at you and stuff like that. He's also very inquisitive too. I mean, a couple of times I've actually I've had him in with me when I've been on the computer. He's normally gone down on my hand, pecked on my hand when I've actually been playing the computer games and things like that. I also have slept in bed, gone to sleep, laid down, and he's sat on my shoulder. And every time I flip over either side, he'll actually flip with me, which is quite cool. I don't think I've managed to, flatten him yet with that, because he's pretty good. Because I mean, most of the time I'm pretty good at knowing that he's there, or most of the time I'm pretty good of knowing that he's actually there. So I'm well aware that he is there, so I don't end up crushing him. I think I've almost not crushing him, but I've almost hurt him. It's like he'll let out a little squeal if you roll near him or whatever. So yeah. But I haven't managed to hurt him really. Well, I haven't managed to hurt him at all or kill him or anything like that. So, that's a plus side. He's a great pet, though. He is a great pet. He's very affectionate. He's loving most of the time, unless he wants to bite your ear. He does have a tendency when my dad's vacuuming and cleaning around the house. He does have a tendency to nibble or bite your ear, which can be rather annoying if he does it. He does it a few times. Especially, I don't know what he thinks. Maybe he thinks the ear is attacking you or something, or attacking him or something. Also, has a tendency to, when I'm washing the dishes, he has a tendency to rub his beak along here like this. That's what he has a tendency to do. He just gets his beak and rubs it along the side of the cage. Every time that I rub an item in question in the sink, he'll do the same thing. It's sort of a repeating action. He also has a tendency when the phone goes off to make some phone noises. Not very accurate phone noises, but still phone noises regardless. And he just makes these really loud fucking sounds, and it annoys the fuck out of... Well, normally my dad ends up telling him to shut up. But he's got a lot of character. Not just character, but he's got a lot of personality as well. As long as we've had him... Compared to our other bird, which our other bird was a female, she didn't have as much personality. She didn't seem to connect with all of us that well, to be truthful. I think she was more of a breeding bird, because most of the time she'd lay eggs in the bottom of her cage and would not do much else. This bird, on the other hand, we've never had a problem with him, we've never had any issues with him. Yeah, he's always been affectionate. He always loves sitting on your shoulder, always loves doing stuff, and he's always been easily trained. He does whistle the same to marching in if I wiggle my toes and get my toes up on a bed, for example, or something, or a chair, and he will actually whistle the same to go marching in, which is weird. He's actually a bird with a foot fetish, which is fucking unusual and strange, but still. It's fucking hilarious. But no, he is quite funny, and he is quite a wonderful pet to have. Not as high maintenance as dogs and things like that. I mean, not that I wouldn't mind getting a dog, but at this point in time, I don't know what the case. Well, maybe in the future. Well, my girlfriend has a dog anyway, so I'll probably end up inheriting a dog from her at some point. You know, in the sense of in the future when she moves here, and I mean it won't be for a while, but when she moves here, eventually, she'll bring her dogger over, and you know, we'll have the dog and the bird. As you can see, as you can see with the bird anyway, he's a fantastic pet. He is a wonderful, wonderful, wonderful pet, and I've never had any major issues with him. Not just that, but you know, as I said over the years, I've come to love him and his antics, and the things that he's done for, you know, as he says from time to time. So he reminds us of my mum as well. He has a tendency to every so often to say, "Where's Bridget?" which was my mum's name. And he used to say that before when she was alive. And every so often, and even though we haven't mentioned her for years, he will every so often mention and say, "Where's Bridget?" Which, to be honest, shows me, you know, it just shows some recognition. Not just that, but I think it also shows that maybe my mum's sort of around, sort of thing, you know, keeping an eye on everything, basically. So yeah, but he is a wonderful pet, and as long as I've had him, he's always been very kind, compassionate, and most of the time, unless he wants to bite you, then he's not kind and compassionate. Then he's just well, I mean, to be honest, entirety he doesn't really got a name over the years. I've just called him Shithead because he can be a bit of a shithead sometimes. So I pretty much given him that name. But he's had a few name changes, which we called it he/she at first because we weren't sure what it was, whether it was a he or a she, and then we finally figured out it was, and it was like he/she. For a while, we actually called it that, and yeah, it's just hilarious. So yeah. Anyway, I'm going to leave it there. Thank you very much, YouTube. I hope you enjoyed the video. Stay tuned. This is just basically a sort of run through of what I do, my mornings, a day in the life of Daniel Gorman, YouTuber slash gamer slash technician. Just basically a day in the life of me, pretty much. Just to clarify things, that's all. So, you know, I do hope you enjoy this, and I do hope you find it interesting. And please, stay tuned. I've got heaps more videos coming up. And of course, if you like the content that I do make, whether it be technical content or otherwise, please feel free to donate to contribute towards me making the content better, advancing it further, newer technology, whatever, you know, any amount, basically any amount helps. It's big or small. So anyway, I'm going to leave it there. Thank you very much. I hope you enjoyed my videos, and of course like and subscribe to me on Google+, Facebook, Twitter, Twitch TV, and Google, and Instagram. Now, I do want to get my Twitch TV a little more upwards because I want to actually do some more footage with my Twitch TV. But I haven't been as adamant with my Twitch TV lately. I've just sort of been going slow with it. So, mainly because my internet, I know what my internet's like, and my internet is just a piece of shit half the time. It's not the greatest connection in the world, and half the time it has issues trying to maintain the basic level of what it is at the moment. But I mean, you know, it has its moments where it runs perfectly great, and it doesn't die in the ass. But it has the other moments where it just dies in the ass for like 3 or 4 weeks at a time. It has had those moments in the past, and I know it does happen. So anyway, I'm going to leave it there. Thank you very much, YouTube. Stay tuned for more videos, obviously, and of course maybe I'll do some more stuff on my personal blog stuff to what I do in my daily life. What I have a tendency to do in my daily life, just, you know, some of the things I get up to, whether it be new projects, gaming even. I mean, most of the time it is gaming with me. But I do other things in between. I do have a sort of a regime with things. I do use my weights occasionally. I do some other stuff. I do have an exercise bike in the house that I have been known to actually get on and use. Aside from that, I like to do stomach crunches from time to time, which I do occasionally here and there. Not too bad. But also, I think I'm going to start doing some walking and stuff and things like that. Mainly because it just makes sense to go for a walk. I mean, just, walk around my neighborhood anyway, just, get myself out of the house. On top of that, getting myself out of the house, I can show you the local neighborhood in Canberra and the general environment and things of that nature, so you can sort of understand what, how everything works, and just, it works a lot better in that sense of things. Alright, anyway, I'm going to leave it. Thank you very much, YouTube. I hope you, enjoy my videos, obviously. If you get some type of benefit out of them, whether it's the interesting stuff that you find about technical side of things, or just whether it's just some of my personal things and silly, stupid shit that I end up doing. Alright, thank you very much, YouTube, and of course, please like and subscribe. I also have a Facebook page, which is directly sort of linked to, yes, I'm pretty much linked to my YouTube as well. It's also linked to my local hobby business thing, which is a hobby business because it's just me doing it. But yeah, okay. Alright, thank you very much, and catch you, YouTube. Bye.